to Mystic Moons. We'll get started in a second. Cherokee, you come say hi? Wait, come on up. Come on. Say hi. There's no space for me. Oh, there's space enough. Somehow I got distracted there. Anyway, give me one more minute and then we'll start. Lighting up some incense. I have a bunch of cat hairs on my face because I guess I need to go and comb my cat. He has all this winter fur, and that's all over the place. I have these gloves, they're all over the gloves too. All over the table. I am surrounded by cat hair right now. All right. Where is it? Okay, now I am ready. I'm not sure why this is blinking. Maybe I need to clean that a little bit. Still is blinking. Isn't that odd? But anyway, welcome to Mystic Moons. February. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Money. Yes, happy Sunday, day of the sun. One could say if we were going to attribute the planetary energies to certain astrological signs, this would be a day of celebration for celebrating Leo energy, Leo placements, Leo signs. If you were to think about anything positive that you wanted to manifest, Sundays definitely be your day to do so. I'm doing a collective reading right now, Jessica. If anybody would like any personal readings, you can email me if you'd like, and we could set up a time. That would be mystic.galaxy.moons@gmail.com. But right now, I am setting aside time and energy for the collective readings as a whole. Collective energies as a whole. So, if you appreciate my time and energy, do let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you to those of you who have. Still have my cards a little. Let me just go and get a little bit more of my tools here in order. Well, tools, what I feel like using. I have these cards that have different types of messages on them. I actually had them on sort of a cleanse from the end of December to the beginning of January. So this is going to be the first time that I've used this in a while. But I do want them to all go in one direction. Let's see. All right, here's one set. I think these are all, no, they're not. These cards are a bit harsh. They could be a bit harsh. They have some neutral cards for like placement type of energies, descriptions, and then they have negative and positive words, 50-50. So it's sort of a little grab bag. And let me just go and get these. Obviously, this is going to extend a little bit past the view of the camera. I almost wonder if I should choose one more. A larger circle. Let's see. Let's strategize, put that back. All right, I think we're all there. I'm going to put two piles, I think, like that. I actually think I am going to choose a bigger circle just so that these don't go sliding off my table. I'll be back in a second. My cat is looking at this. She says, "Oh, you're putting down a fresh cover for me. A fresh blanket." Well, maybe, right? Let's see. That should be big enough. For everything. Yeah, this is better. All right. A little bit of prep time, but we are ready now. So it's the beginning of February. It is indeed a Sunday, day of the sun. The shortest month of the year is here. Also, too, possibly the coldest. Energies coming up here. Well, we're in between Aquarius season, going to go into Pisces season for February. And of course, Valentine's Day is coming up. A day when all the stores have started since, well, at least Christmas, right? Since December, decorating their merchandise with hearts and red and pink. Hello. Getting us all anticipating that one day when roses are distributed and chocolate is shared. Smiles are given, blushes are felt, anticipation runs high. And so, let's go and check out a Valentine's Day sneak peek. Let's start out with water signs. We'll start out with Scorpio. Now, as these are love signs, I'm going to say you can consider your sun, your moon, your rising. Those are pretty much standard placements. You can also consider, as these are love readings, you can consider definitely your Venus. You can also think about your Jupiter. You can think about your moon. Well, I already said moon. You can also think about your 7th house. So relationship placements, 7th house energy, Venus energy, Jupiter energy. Maybe if you, depending upon how your chart is aspected, you can also think about your Juno energy. Could think about your Lilith energy, right? But that's where I invite you to think about with these collectives. As we are doing Scorpio, I actually think, no, we passed that, I think, or we're just about to pass that. I think Lilith was in Scorpio. I know it was all last year. I'm not sure if it's still a little bit in Scorpio energy or not. But in other words, it was sort of like a revitalization energy or empowerment energy. Definitely evolvement coming to Lilith signs, with Lilith in itself being in Scorpio energy. That little kitty cat you heard in the background, hello, is a Scorpio mowing. So let's go and see a sneak peek first for Scorpio collective. What is your Valentine's Day sneak peek. I have the World. The World with a Princess of Cups. Scorpio, a Valentine's Day sneak peek. 3 of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles and Temperance. Scorpio, what I see in your energy is not so much new things, but what you've been working on, what you've been developing. I see growth towards what you've already set the seeds for, Scorpio. I hear you, Chi Chi. Yes. He's like, I'm a Scorpio. Yes, we all hear that. Chi Chi. You know, he acted up yesterday too. Quiet. One moment. Come on, Chi Chi. All right. Let's see what else we have. So yes, Scorpio, first of all, in this energy, your Valentine's Day sneak peek, what kind of seeds have you sown, Scorpio? What kind of connections have you made? Because what I see here is not so much new energy, Scorpio. What I see here is progression. Energies coming up here, energies in your energy, Scorpio, are, I see some Capricorn, I see some Sagittarius energies here. 2 of Pentacles is against the more Capricorn. Maybe we can also go and see some Taurus energy. Definitely what I have here, though, Scorpio is very familiar energy. These people know you, you know them, at least to an extent where you've exchanged some greetings, some time, some spent. There's been acquaintances that have already been made, so it's past that stage. Scorpio, the familiar, maybe not exactly the known, but the familiar to a certain extent, are what's in your energy for love, for Cupid's touch, for a Valentine's Day sneak peek. That is who is percolating and showing interest here. One could also say in this energy as well, Scorpio, with the World and Temperance showing up, and also too with these slow moving energies of 2 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, and Knight of Pentacles. Well, I don't necessarily want to say this could be revitalizations of things past known, but some very familiar faces that you haven't dealt with as well recently or lately could be popping up again. Or we could also say as well, maybe likewise, Scorpio, this has nothing to do with you, but in the energy of love, of romantic interest and wanting to come closer, people who have closed out certain phases of their life and are now ready to begin the next phase, the healthier phase, the maturation of life. Sometimes my phone does that. It goes like, it ends. But the maturation, Scorpio, of people who are maturing, they could also be in your energy for love. Let me say that as well. So this may have nothing to do with you, but simply people that are evolving more than they were before. But I still say in this energy, Scorpio, definitely touch points of people who you should know their names, Scorpio. Maybe you forgot their names, but you should know them at a certain point. So, Scorpio, I'm going to pull a few more cards here just to go and see some more Valentine's sneak peek messages. I have Foolish, Soulmate, and Mercury. Definitely someone, Scorpio, that you've passed through the acquaintanceship phase with. Someone, Scorpio, if they have been around you, they haven't offered you any significant type of commitment before or had the interest in it. Of course, we could say that different types of commitment changes upon our own goals and, again, maturation, growth, evolvement, right? We could say that as well. Just like when we're growing up and we change our shirt sizes and our shoe sizes because we outgrow them. Could be a similar type of energy here, Scorpio. Anyway, Foolish, Soulmate, and Mercury. Somebody's been threading in your energy, Scorpio. And Scorpio, they're realizing how the connections that are made are not haphazard. Perhaps, Scorpio, in this energy, your Valentine's Day sneak peek is someone who's realizing everything they were chasing wasn't that far away. And there are words to be shared now, Scorpio. Puzzle pieces or clarity is now reaching someone. That is your Valentine's Day sneak peek for right now. Hello, and thank you for the likes. Let's go on to the next water sign. The next water sign, let's check out Pisces. So that would be, as I said, if you want to go and think about your Jupiter, you definitely could. But let's think about our sun, our moon, our Venus, our rising. And if you want, you can think about your Jupiter, you can think about your Juno, you can think about your Lilith, you can think about your 7th house. Relationship placements. I invite you to think about it in terms of how prominent are they within your chart. Prominent would be aspects to your personal planets or to major houses. Also, too, prominent would be degrees. So now we're on Pisces. What's a Valentine's Day sneak peek for Pisces? I have Hierophant Pisces, 3 of Wands Pisces. I have some Taurus energy, strong Taurus energy Pisces. 3s may be relevant here, Pisces. Someone wanting to get closer, Pisces, definitely in this energy. Catching the eye of people, Pisces. They've kept themselves at a distance, Pisces, because in this energy, too, it's like wanting to come as strongly impressive as they can. They're just impressive. We don't need to add strongly to that, right? Anyway, we have Hierophant. We also have a sweet Page of Pentacles. Pages are sweet energies overall. Enthusiastic, fragile energies. I have Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is Piscean energy. The Two of Pentacles underneath. Well, Pisces, energies that are in here. Significant Taurus. And then I have some Capricorn, some Gemini, some Sagittarius, some Scorpio. A lot of movement here, Pisces. Valentine's Day message, I would say what I have here are definitely, well, people who want to make sure, well, they're serious, first of all. They could be serious individuals. They could be seeing the connection that they'd want with you to be something serious, not necessarily. Well, they don't want to be crushed. They don't want to go and put forth effort, Pisces, and to have that meet a lackluster response. Perhaps a bit fragile, as we were saying before, with Page energy here. Here's somebody who wants to approach, not sure when is the right time to approach, maybe even to out the right way to approach, the right words, and they don't exactly want to face the possibility of rejection. More than that, too, Pisces, they don't necessarily want to be, do I say the word friend zone? They don't want to be just simply given some time, Pisces. They want you to form time, to build time with them. Not quite skittish energy, but not far from being skittish energy too. Pisces, you're Cupid, Valentine's Day sneak peek energy. I have someone here who's building up courage to come to you, Pisces. Pisces, they want to be your everything, or at least, at the very least, be your focal point. Pisces, they don't have the confidence that they could be either one or the other. They don't have the confidence that they could be your focal point right now, or perhaps, Pisces, they're wondering how long could they captivate your attention before it's diverted off into something else. Energy with a lot of fluctuation here, Pisces. That's what I have for your Cupid, or excuse me. What? Okay, come on. Everybody's away. I don't know if you heard that meow. They were, well, you know, one kitty does something, another kitty wants to do it too. But, you know, toys and property and acquisition and space, all that's very important to little kitties. So I have sorry. Fairies. And attic. Somebody's chasing dreams in your energy, Pisces. Someone has a beautiful plan in their head about you. And it's much more comforting, Pisces, for them to imagine the could-be's and what-ifs right now with you, and then to face the possibility that you, at least right now, don't share those same types of dreams with them. That's the energy I have for you right now, Pisces. You have admirers who are afraid of taking the next step for fear that your next step with them will not be the next step they'd hope to have with you. Let's see what else we have here. Thank you for the like. We'll go do Cancer, and then we'll move on to the rest of the signs. So, a Valentine's Day sneak peek. Cancer, before I do your reading, I want to shuffle these black cards too, so give me a second on that. I'm actually going to make up a little container for this. I just haven't yet, which will be easier for me to shuffle these. All right. Cancer. A Valentine's Day sneak peek. For Cancer. Cancer, I am seeing orange here. A Prince of Wands. Prince of Wands, 10 of Cups. Ace of Pentacles, very positive energy here, Cancer. Somebody who has no shortage of, do I call this bravado? Cancer, bravada, depending upon how you want to genderize that word. Bravada, bravado. Someone who is no short of confidence. I feel like here's someone who definitely has some bluster to them. Cancer, someone who definitely doesn't mind jumping first and not really caring what or where they are jumping into. So enthusiastic, Cancer, they can be and are about living life, about developing the possible good things of life. Here's someone in this energy, Cancer, who believes in seizing the moment. Seizing the moment, but it's interesting, Cancer, with that 7 of Swords energy here. This means this person has been, well, they seize the moment of the great things, of the good things, of the opportunities that are there. If they see a possible opportunity, Cancer, they're going to go and try and see if it's possible for them to obtain it. Anyway, that's kind of the energy that's here. If I was to start to say signs, well, we do have some Aquarius, Capricorn, Pisces energy coming up here, Cancer. But we have someone enthusiastic about life, definitely. Someone definitely who should be gregarious, outgoing. This person is an extrovert. Are they a true extrovert? I say not entirely 100%. But they push themselves to be so, and they can do that with a lot of finesse. I also have a 2 of Pentacles. Did I have a 2 of Pentacles down here? No, I had an Ace of Pentacles. So I have a 2 of Pentacles, Cancer. That Capricorn energy is coming in strong. I have a 3 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, and a King of Cups. 6 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck energy. Someone who's ready for progression is basically the energy that's here. Is there a card behind here? There is. Hangman. Someone who feels like they've prepared enough. Cancer is in your energy. Someone who's prepared to go on to the next stages of relationships, of connections. Maybe they want to go and build out their life, Cancer, in ways that they have not before. Here's someone, Cancer, primarily, who definitely wants to go deeper than they have before, definitely would like to go and commit greater than they have before. One could also say in this energy, Cancer, they have more to share and more to offer than they did prior. In this energy as well, that more to share and more to offer could simply be emotional openness, could be empathy. Could also be in this energy, Cancer, here's someone who's kinder than they have been prior. Especially with 10 of Cups sneaking in that energy, 4 of Wands sneaking in that energy, under with a King of Cups. I was wondering if there's anything more I want to say here, Cancer. There was something on the tip, but kind of faded out. Energies here, Cancer, we also have Aries, Virgo, strong Pisces. Then we have some Capricorn, some Taurus, some Leo, some more Pisces. But of course, we're in the season right now between, well, we're in Aquarius season going off into Piscean season. Definitely in this energy, though, let me also say, I already did, but I'll say it one more time. Here's someone who's ready to go and start expanding their dreams. But they very much could be their ideas about compassion. That's in your energy. Cancer, a little bit more. I have pride. I have a card that doesn't want to come out. I have empathetic. And I have caring. Cancer, for your Valentine's Day sneak peek, I have somebody in your energy who definitely is much kinder than they ever have been before. That's a maturation, that's the evolution this person has gained. I have a kind person who definitely here wants to connect and build with a partner, with their partner in life. And more than having, of course, material things help, right? Roof over the head, comfortable climate, food in the belly, safety from the elements and perhaps from other elements. All that is important, definitely. But the heart is the most important. And the heart, loyalty, dedication, caring, nothing worthwhile can be built without that. Let's go and see the next sign. We have to go and also see what sign we will start with. We have Earth remaining, we have fire remaining, we have air remaining. For these collectives, again, I invite you to include your Venus sign. You could also include your Jupiter sign. You can think about your 7th house. Definitely all those energies are there. I want to fold these cards back in. I think I read up to there. I think that was 2 cards I put in there. Gee, for the water signs, all of my kitties were going crazy. I don't know if you heard them. Running back and forth. They were there going, who gets to drink the water first? Who gets to be on this perch first? Let me have that toy. That was a lot of action going on while looking into the water signs. All right. Who shall we do next? We'll do Earth. We'll do Earth, and let's do Capricorn. We'll start off with Capricorn placements. A Valentine's Day sneak peek for Capricorn. Two of Pentacles is Capricorn energy together with Justice. Quality here, Capricorn. Nothing is sacrificed. No need to settle for anything less exactly than what you want. Terms and conditions will be met, is expected to be met in this energy, Capricorn. Strong Capricorn energy coming out here as well. I hear you, Coachy. Says I'm in my bag. Yes, everybody here has a brown grocery bag that they really, really like. That's the hottest thing right now where I am. Grocery bags. If you can hear those meows in the background. So anyway, Capricorn, yes. What interesting energy. Everything being met on your terms as you lay out the blueprint, lay out the conditions, lay out the terms, lay out the contract. That will be met, Capricorn. Make sure you think, you expect, you note everything as precisely as you want. All you need to do is set the mold, Capricorn, and that mold will be filled accordingly. Two of Pentacles is also accompanied with the Tower. I'm going to pull a few more cards here. I have 10 of Pentacles. Devil, which is Capricorn energy, and a 2 of Cups. So twos can be relevant here, Capricorn. Of course, twos are also a vibration of union, of engagement, of interaction. As we have a 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, 2 of Cups coming up here. Energies I have besides two, well, even Justice. Two halves of a whole. Energies I have coming up here as well. Well, we have some Libra. We have Scorpio, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer. If I was to peek a little further past that, we have some Gemini, Libra, no, Pisces, Aquarius. I'm going to say the strongest ones here, though, are definitely going to be twos, union, the conditions of union, actually. That's what we have here. The conditions of engagement, interaction, partnership. Your Valentine's Day sneak peek. Capricorn, what you settle for is what you'll get. Or is that the right way of saying it? Be careful what you settle for because you can get a lot more. Capricorn, the bar is as high as you set the threshold for. Nothing is out of reach, Capricorn. It's all a matter of where and what you give time to. Capricorn, lots of opportunity here that's around you. And depending upon how discerning you are, I'm not going to say the word picky because I think picky is not the quite vibrational energy we want to go with here. And it's not quite accurate. It's about qualities, levels of quality. And also to Capricorn, how much grace do you give to that which doesn't meet your own personal standards? Maybe you don't vocalize it, Capricorn, but you could say, you can go and give extra time just because maybe you're feeling gracious. Maybe because you have the time to do it, so you think free time. Maybe there's an interest there that perhaps it could be more. But what I have here, Capricorn, is definitely almost like an intake, drawing in a breath almost. And many things can be compelled or attracted to come closer to you, Capricorn. And not all of those things that are attracted to come towards you, Capricorn, they are beneficials. They definitely could be interesting, but not all are beneficial. So therefore, Capricorn, it's up for you to set the boundaries. Ultimately, what I have here, Capricorn, lots of interest. And as I said, you set the mold, and what kind of mold you want, that will be filled. So don't rush things, Capricorn. Don't be impatient. You can have the highest set of specifications because those guidelines that you seek to have will be fulfilled. Capricorn, I have history. I have jealous. And I have a card that doesn't want to come out. And I have local. Capricorn, you have a little bit of a, do I call it a fan club or a little bit of a reputation? Do you linger a little bit in people's memories who you have engaged with and ultimately, Capricorn, moved on from? Capricorn, you have footprints, and there are people, Capricorn, who look at the empty spaces where you once were and they reminisce. They certainly reminisce, Capricorn. That's in your Valentine's Day sneak peek. Let's do Taurus. So that would be a Taurus sun, a Taurus moon, a Taurus rising, a Taurus Venus, a Taurus, could be a Taurus 7th house, could also be a Taurus Jupiter. Taurus, let me do these black cards first before I get to you. All right. So, Taurus, thank you for the like. Let's see, Valentine sneak peek. For Taurus, I'm still going to pull, but we'll keep that. I have Magician. I have Prince of Wands. Some very strong air coming out for you, Taurus. I do read my Fools as Aquarius. We are in Aquarius season as well. Very strong decisions being made, Taurus. Also, too, in this energy, very brisk energy. Could be in this energy, could be the person, Taurus. Someone very active, always on to the new thing. Someone who doesn't necessarily like to go and dwell in the history. Instead, Taurus, they like to carve out what could be. Do they develop the what could be? Though, Taurus, that's a question here coming up. Maybe too in this energy, Taurus, here's somebody starting to find out, starting to define the what could be for them. This person doesn't really have any concrete ideas about the future. They're open, they're malleable. Either they're discovering it as they go out, as they go along, but everything is very fluid. Could be changeable. Here's somebody also too, Taurus, in this energy. Are they impressionable? Impressionable is not quite the right word. Defining would be a better one. Here's someone who's seeking to define what life will be for them. They like to do that, Taurus, through experience. Any ideas they have, Taurus, that appear interesting, they want to give it the space to see for themselves whether or not it's truly something, not necessarily good or bad, but something that fits them. Very tactile energy, Taurus, despite it being all a lot of air. Here's someone too, Taurus, in this energy. This person can't necessarily be told advice. Maybe they take it in, but very little. They have to actually go out there and experience it. Taurus, they have to go and experience cold for themselves, heat for themselves. If they slip, Taurus, they have to feel the concrete, the abrupt greeting of the concrete under their weight, Taurus. This person has to actually do it themselves in order for it to have an impact. Anyway, so Magician is accompanied by Chariot. Chariot and Magician gets an 8 of Swords. Wheel of Fortune again. And a Knight of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. I say again because we have a Wheel of Fortune here. Taurus right there. We also have a Prince of Wands. Prince of Wands, Knight of Wands, same type of energy here. Taurus. Taurus, we are also too in a 10 vibrational year. I am going to say 10s could be relevant. Movement is definitely relevant. Taurus, did I have an 8 of no, I had a Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. Okay, so Taurus, your Valentine's Day message. I have somebody here or think about it. As I said, I have movement. I have a lot of movement. I have a person who's coming your way in the state of movement. They're not quite done yet being in transit. Is this someone who comes in and comes out? Well, Taurus, they're not quite sure yet where their path goes. They haven't committed to anything yet. Not saying they couldn't, Taurus. They don't even know yet quite what it is they want, other than they want the new, they want different, they want to explore, they want to go on, probably in this energy, Taurus, for your Valentine's Day message. Number one, you could meet a traveler. You can meet someone who's visiting, someone who's planning to travel. Taurus, in this energy, this also could be very transitory types of connections. Someone who's here now, and they could find themselves very far away from you in a bit of time. Probably the most, the best, most positive aspect out of this, Taurus, would be how fixed are you to your current routine, your current spot, your current lifestyle that you're in right now? How much, Taurus, are you open for change? Taurus, there's a gift here. There is a very significant gift here in your Valentine's Day message, in your love message. And that's, Taurus, if you are open to go off into the new, here's someone, Taurus, who definitely would partner up with you if, Taurus, you also want to go out and push the boundaries where you haven't been before, what you haven't done before, and different ways of seeing life or having life, experiencing life. And Taurus, if there's anything that you felt stagnated on, or anything that you have thought the what ifs with, Taurus, here's somebody who would be the perfect partner to go out and do that together. And Taurus, I'm also going to say in this energy, if you are happy where you are, here's someone, Taurus, who hasn't yet realized their happiness could be where they're at right now, because they still are in a lot of motion. Anyway, that's a caveat to keep in mind with your Valentine's Day message. And the main blessing here is, here's someone seeking to grow, and they can grow with you, Taurus, provided there are also things, Taurus, that you want to go and see and experience and do for yourself, making that a priority. Hello. Hello, Tanisha. Hello, Divine Timing. Let's go and get a little bit more energy here. So I have hot air. Wonderful move. And another card that doesn't want to come out. A couple cards want to come out. And relationship. All right, Taurus, that's what I see for you in love. I have a connection here that could be very thrilling, but at the same time, very transitory. But Taurus, if you yourself are open to seeing new horizons, Taurus, this could be the perfect partner for you, and for you to go and start building something very special in an entirely new way. Let's go on to, well, I'm not doing personal readings right now. I set this time aside to do readings for the collective. Afterwards, I could go and possibly pull if you'd like to go and put in a donation. It depends on how much energy I have. The best thing to do would be to email me at mystic.galaxy.moons@gmail.com, and we could set up a time. But right now, I'm doing the collective readings. I'm getting a little tired having done this for about an hour. And I do ask for a donation with that. If it's one question on a live, it would be $33.33. But as I said, right now, I'm doing this. Anyway, I'm going to go get my singing bowl for a second since I got distracted. So we did Capricorn, we did Taurus, and now we have Virgo. What's a Valentine's Day message for Virgo? That would be a Virgo sun, a Virgo moon, a Virgo rising, a Virgo Venus. You can think about a Virgo 7th house. You can also think about a Virgo Jupiter. Excuse me. Virgo. Four of Pentacles with death. Everything in the physical, Virgo. Long-lasting changes, Virgo. Also, everything coming out into the open, Virgo. Or at least, at the very least, Virgo, a desire. 9 of Pentacles is Virgo energy. A desire for everything to come out into the open. There's some transparency going to be happening in this energy, Virgo. Also, too, what's expressed, Virgo, will be notable, will be impactful. What's expressed can't necessarily be taken back, would not want to be taken back. Solidification of hopes, ideas, knowing exactly where you stand, solidification and transparency. I have a 6 of Swords. Energies coming up here, Virgo. I do think I have significant Capricorn energy, some Scorpio, some Aquarian energy. I have a King of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, and Justice with a Hermit underneath. Of course, Hermit is Virgo energy. I have soulmate energy here, Virgo. Okay, so a couple things here, Virgo. I hear you. A couple things with a king and what little TT? A moment, I think. What? I see you. My little kitty goes meow. First of all, Virgo, with the King and Queen of Pentacles here, we do have soulmate energy. But you know, Virgo, also too, what I have here is process. Like nothing has been happening quickly, or perhaps it could have happened quickly, or once that initial meeting. Well, I have familiarity here, Virgo. Now, this could be an abstract concept of familiarity of ideas, of partners, of who and what you want in terms of life, in terms of partnership, but it could also be definitely more physical, more concrete, an actual representation of persons. Either way, there's been a process here. Once that idea or once that person has been met, Virgo, it wasn't exactly like things happen like fireworks and solidified itself down to whatever form of commitment you'd like to have. It had to be, or it is, Virgo, been building up to an idealized state, to a partnership state, to a stable state. It's been building when it could have happened a lot faster. Anyway, Virgo, what I have here is process and patience. For your Valentine's Day message, what you want. Well, Virgo, it's just not your timing and your ideas. It's also the one who you're interested in, their timing and their ideas and their understanding. Progression doesn't happen overnight, but Virgo, as it happens, it happens with very strong, solid steps, strong, solid movements towards something good, something firm at the very least. Did I say signs, Virgo? I think I did, but we have Scorpio, Capricorn, significant Capricorn coming out throughout here. Libra, Leo, Scorpio, some Cancer. I mean, probably the strongest here would be some Capricorn energy. We could also see that as well, Virgo, that some significant strides could have been happening around the winter in terms of this person's ability, comprehension, acceptance of how they feel either in certain situations or with you. Anyway, very methodical energy, as I said before. Nothing happening overnight, but it's happening. How do you feel, Virgo, about things being drawn out? Energy feels a tad slow to me, but it still is good energy. It's conservative energy. Give and take, nurture, and hassles. Finding the meeting ground, Virgo, that's what I have here. Quiet. Finding the meeting ground between you and another. What's the expectations, Virgo, between you and another? You have to define the middle ground, because the middle ground is not something that appears automatically or effortlessly for whatever reasons. The commitment is there. And one would also say, because the commitment is there, how you handle things and how you define that middle ground is important. That's what I have for Virgo. Good morning. Thank you. Oops, for the like. So let's go on to, so I think we did all of Earth, right? We did all of Earth. Now we have fire and we have air. Let's see, who will we do next? We'll do air. So with air, again, it could be your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising, as we're dealing with love readings, definitely your Venus. And you can think about your 7th house and your Jupiter as well. Think about how they play in your chart. If they have a play in your chart. But definitely I would say sun sign and Venus sign. And you can think about other things as they're aspected. Or perhaps as you have questions, right? You can get creative about it. If you're thinking about somebody in particular, you can think about maybe the synergy between you and someone else. How do those planets play into their chart or yours, etc. Let me just shuffle these and then we'll go on. We're going to do air. I guess we'll start off with Aquarius, seeing how we're in Aquarian season, right? Aquarius. A Valentine's Day message for Aquarius. Aquarius, I see blue, an ice blue wanting to come out. Aquarius, I see a very light green, and I see a white. 3 types of options. 3 types of messages that want to come out. Curious about the blue, Aquarius, and I'm curious, it's like a pale ice blue, and I'm curious about the bright, clear light. Let's go with the light, Aquarius. I have 10 of Pentacles with a Queen of Wands. 2 of Cups, 2 of Swords. Success, Aquarius. Also, too, this is almost like being catered to, Aquarius. Being catered to or being understood, your validations, your needs being met and not seen as something frivolous. Someone cares about your comfort, your stability, your core being supported. Someone cares about, although I feel like the words have been overplayed, your emotional well health, right? It's just like giving credence to you as a person overall, Aquarius. 2s may be relevant here, Aquarius, but of course we are dealing with Valentine's Day readings. We are talking about partnership and connection. Energies that are starting to come up. I do have some Virgo, Cancer, Libra, Aries. But I do have either the environment or a person, Aquarius, wanting you to be at your best. I have support. Could also be in this energy too, Aquarius. Well, people either support your goals or you find support around you as well. You have admirers. That could also be the second type of message in here as well. You have admirers, only the most confident ones come forward, or the ones who have the most to offer come forward. It's like laying down gifts for you, Aquarius, to choose from. And the people who are confident of their gifts do so. Magician. Queen of Wands is definitely in your energy. Six of Cups, Aquarius. Queen of Pentacles, Aquarius. Four of Cups. Well, definitely Aquarius in your Valentine's Day message. This is actually a little broad energy. There's a couple of messages I'm definitely getting out of it. If I was to narrow this down to love, which is basically our reading here, I have supporters here in your energy, Aquarius. I have nothing new in here, Aquarius, for your Valentine's Day sneak peek. But what I do have here, Aquarius, are people who know you, people who have been watching you, people who know your gifts and talent, know how you present or shine, maybe even to people who have admired how you handle yourself, Aquarius. Aquarius, I have people here who either are wondering what they can bring to you, or they actually actively, Aquarius, want to lend their power, their influence, their abilities with you, accomplish with you. Maybe too in this energy, Aquarius, what their goals and plans are for the future. How does that meld with your goals and plans for the future? How can you together join forces and build success together? Because also too, they've gone so far, only so far, without your help, without your support, something without your commitment. All that energy is here, Aquarius, and some more things too. There's also in this energy as well, Aquarius, in your Cupid message, asking more than what was previously discussed or previously expressed. Wanting more from you, Aquarius, than what they already got. And certain promises that can't be taken back, Aquarius, or certain assurances that can't be taken back. That's also either expected or wanted of you. Maybe in this energy as well, Aquarius, it is nothing per se about what you have expressed towards them. Maybe the person in your Valentine's Day energy, what they want and what they seek in general are assurances that they haven't gotten to date. You know, it could even be outside of necessarily romantic energy, right? Just like the energy they need again to feel appreciated. But that energy is here. Just like, for instance, when we're chilly, we need to get warmer. When we're hungry, we need to feed ourselves. It could be on just a very primal level of what this person needs to, not just to function, but to thrive. Anyway, Aquarius in this energy, just like they can aid this to you, I feel like they also would require something of that level from you for them themselves to truly thrive. Did I say signs? I think I did. I forget. But anyway, we have some, I know I said the first round. The primary energies here, we have Virgo, Aries, Gemini, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Capricorn, Cancer, maybe some Pisces. Thank you for the likes. Let's see. Some messages here. I have evil eye. Overlooked. And spider. Okay, so yeah, this last part of the messages definitely sort of go back to that last point I was talking about. And that here is somebody, Aquarius, who, as I said, may have nothing to do with you. It's just something in that makeup of that person. Maybe you share it, maybe you don't, but it's definitely something within that makeup of that person. Something vital they have not gotten. And it could even be something on a very early childhood level. Could also be something that as they reach, hey, cat's tearing something up. Could be something that as they have gone out into the world, gone out as adults, something very vital that they have been unable to go and tap into. And that definitely deals with some sort of appreciation. But to them, this is just as vital as oxygen and as rest. And in this energy, Aquarius, your Valentine's Day person is seeking, do I call it validation? Do I call it obtainment? To obtain? They're seeking that from you. Here's somebody who can provide a lot, can give a lot, but they're also expecting something quite specific from you as well. Something very unique and absolute from you as well. Something that one in this energy, we could almost say, maybe they've been slightly obsessing about it and playing it cool, but they won't be able to play cool for much longer, Aquarius, as someone extends themselves. That probably is a mirror of what they likewise would like to receive. All right. Let's see the next air sign. Chi-Chi, I hear you. He says, but you're talking to the wall and the plants, and you could be talking to me. But just some more vocalizations if you're curious what it's like to have a Siamese. They're not aloof. They like attention. They wonder why they don't get attention. Okay, Chi-Chi. I see you. All right. Let's see, who will we do next? We're going to do, we have Gemini and we have Libra. Let's do Libra. My categories. We have 7 of Wands and an 8 of Wands. Only going so far, Libra. Conditional Libra. Set in their ways, or they want things a certain way. Could also be maybe in this energy, Libra, trying to mold you in some way. I may have to take a break, Libra, and feed this cat. I don't really want to because he's already quite big, but I might. Chi-Chi. He's quiet when I look at him. Let's just look at me. I'm handsome enough to be looked at. I have Hanged Man, Libra, with the World, the Sun, and Judgment. Well, Libra, not quite sure how I feel about this energy. For your Valentine's Day message, I see somebody who's prepared to offer you a whole lot. But Libra, it's kind of conditional. They could be waiting for the right moment. Definitely that energy could be here, Libra. Also, what is here, it just is equally as waiting for the right moment. It could be waiting for the right conditions. Maybe waiting for you to make the right move, the appropriate move, the first move, for some sort of acknowledgement on your part to happen in order for things to begin. Especially with that Emperor there. Everything is poised to happen, but it depends upon the response, Libra. Someone has said, Libra, or maybe this is a question as well for you to think about, or someone who could be someone that you're dealing with, someone you have yet to meet, someone who shows who they are, or a preview of who they are and what they can do. And then they wait, Libra. They wait to go and see what kind of response you give them, how you proceed. Everything is poised to have a doorway open and for a whole new environment to be, do I say created, or do I say to be come into being, one or the other? But it's conditional. There's something you have to do. That's what I see here, first of all, for your Valentine's Day message. Someone who can offer a lot, someone who can do a lot, but there's something here that they're waiting for. It could just be timing, could also be an appropriate response or the response from you. One could say in this bottom of the deck energy too, Libra, just think about it. Here's someone who's now operating on their own terms, while someone is waiting for an appropriate response from you, or maybe some little gameplay happening. It could be that this is just something that is not even worthy of your time to do. We don't need things like, I take one step, you take one step as well. Just, transparency. Words and action are aligned, as opposed to trying to go and infer double meanings. Oops. That is sort of the energy that I have here for Valentine's Day. But everything is poised to happen. And also, too, let me say in this energy as well, Libra, everything is... I hear you. Everything is poised to happen. Now I'm like, I spray. Everything is poised to happen. And it's not like you're going to go and miss out on anything to Libra. The end results are just that, the end results. But there is definitely someone in your energy who either is or shall come forward. You'll see what they're capable of, and there'll be a pause on it. Before the next stage can happen. And I also see here with this energy, again, very strong masculine energy on this side. And on the other side, I see very strong feminine energy, and also too, a lot more grounded in reality. And an unwillingness to be dragged along on other... Do I say other people's timelines, other people's expectations? Something around that. I have 2 cards. I'll keep that for that. So Libra, I have reunion. I have new person. I have relationship. And I have Pluto. Crossroads, Libra. As I said before, you're not missing out on anything, provided you don't go and follow someone's expectations of what they want from you. What type of evolution or revolutions you want to have are entirely into your hands. But definitely, I would say for this reunion energy, or for the energy that's familiar, they have some expectations from you. They step once to the left, Libra, they're going to want you to step once to the left as well. Some sort of dogmatic energy like that. Proving. Anyway, let's go on to the next sign. And that would be Gemini. I hear you, little one. I don't have the space to bring him up on my table. My table is not that big. Oh, let's see. Gemini. I have a Knight of Pentacles with a Knight of Wands. Ace of Wands. Queen of Wands. I have to go make sure I'm doing Gemini, right? 3. With some Empress and 3 of Cups, some 3 energies coming up here. Well, first of all, in this energy, Gemini, someone's very definite on what they like, what they want. Could also be very definite on what they'll do. Waiting on what they'll do. Could they have not shared the plans of what they do? I don't know, Gemini. This energy is pretty transparent. The only thing that's a caveat of a little bit of hesitation, just moving slowly, is that Knight of Pentacles, but it could also be like arranging everything so that everything works out according to plan. Very good energy overall, though, Gemini. It's excited energy, Gemini, and it's also exacting. It's careful planning to ensure success. Gemini, I'm going to go and feed my cat, though, before I continue with this. So I'll be back in a minute, and then we'll continue. Okay. Things should be quieter now. Knight of Pentacles for Gemini, accompanied by a 2 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands, We're doing Gemini, right? Gemini, I have somebody here who's very clear on what they want, very clear on what they like, very clear. However, Gemini, here's someone who has a little bit of hesitation or had a hesitation about expressing it. One could also say in this energy, Gemini, here's someone well, they're ready to express themselves, definitely. Had a hesitation about expressing themselves, and definitely. I know I got rid of all that Ace of Wands, or excuse me, Page of Wands, Queen of Wands, etc. But that energy was there. I'm also going to say, too, in this energy, Gemini, someone is a lot more serious than perhaps how they appear. Something about their expressiveness or their expression has been hard for them to do. But here's someone who definitely has a lot of gravity to themselves. We'll find out more. I guess I have two cards. Fool, Judgment, and the Lovers. Of course, the Lovers is Gemini energy. Gemini, this energy doesn't exactly feel like new. If this person hasn't had their eye on you for a while, Gemini, then they could have had an idea of what they wanted in an abstract form that was met or came into reality, comes into reality with you. But this energy feels like definitely someone who knows you. And they haven't been able to express themselves, express their sincerity, or express a deeper type of sincerity than they had before, which that is changing. Could also be, again, in this energy, maybe it's really good friendship or a really good connection like that that hasn't bridged off into anything more. But Gemini, essentially what I have for you for your Valentine's Day sneak peek, I have someone here who's ready to go and confess attraction. Confess that they would like to have more out of a connection with you than they have before. Someone who wants to be present for you, Gemini. Signs that are coming up here, Gemini. Well, we did have a whole lot of fire. We also have some Cancer, some Pisces, Aquarius, Libra, Sagittarius. We already said we had a whole bunch of fire. We could also say in this energy, Gemini, for your Valentine's Day sneak peek, here's somebody, Gemini, who is not afraid anymore to give credence to what they feel and express it. They're not afraid of getting hurt. They're not afraid of presenting their heart. They're not afraid of expressing interest first. being vulnerable. That's what I have for Gemini. Gemini, I also have communing with spirits. Let's see what else we have here. Heal and devil. Gemini, I definitely have somebody here who is prepared to be vulnerable. And they're prepared to open themselves up in a way that they haven't before, without necessarily expecting success or expecting even to be, well, success. Let's call it that way. There's no competition in the actions that they have for you or towards you. It's not so much putting themselves first as maybe they could have been inclined to do before, but they're giving credence to their emotions, and they're also giving space for you to come to your own conclusions with the transparency they present. Anyway, essentially, Gemini, you have somebody coming literally with their heart quite visible and transparent. This person knows a good thing, Gemini, but now they're willing to share just how special and valued they find you. I think we're on fire, and then that'll be it, right? We did water, earth, just concluded air. Now we have fire. Let's see, who will we do? Let's do Aries. Aries, I have 4 of Pentacles and the World. 6 of Cups. Ace of Wands, Aries energy, Ace of Pentacles, 8 of Cups. Well, first of all, Aries, what you have gained so far is important. Aries, you've gained some sort of space. You've earned something here. Doesn't necessarily have to be recent, not necessarily yet coming through the concrete, but you've seen a different way of moving, a different way of thinking, a different way of interacting. Also, too, in this energy could be you have closed certain doors, opened up new ones. You know, this has been a little bit of a mental renaissance for you, that you can now start putting new ideas into action. And those new ideas, new ways of operating, not slowly. You know, we have like the cobblestones leading up to that new new space. We have the foundation being built to support that new space. We have the language, grammatical blocks being built for that new space, etc., being built. You know, the beginning stages. Not yet all the groundwork, but groundwork is happening. I know not quite love, but that's the energy that's here. Could that be the person coming towards you, Aries? Could that be your energy? Well, it's energy that's here. If I was to start saying signs, we have some Pisces, Capricorn, Scorpio, Capricorn. Energies coming up here. But what I do have here ultimately, though, Aries, is for what you have built up thus far, important to maintain it, important to keep it. Make sure you don't necessarily wipe the slate clean, Aries. Now's not the time to do so. Now's the time, Aries, with what you've built so far. The ideas that you hold dear, the values you hold dear so far. Maintain them, grow them, honor them. What you have so far, it's important to keep that. Hello. So I have 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups, and the world is accompanied, Aries, by 3 of Cups. Did I have a 3 of Cups in here? Must have been some other reading. 3 of Cups. 9 of Swords. The light right now is so pretty right now. The sun hasn't come up and all the snow outside is making it like an electric blue. Maybe an electric periwinkle type of blue. Lots of lavender in that blue outside. All right, Aries, that is definitely what I have for you for your Valentine's Day message. What you have maintained so far, very important for you to keep it. Could be your own sense of self, Aries. Could be your own sense of goals, what you have. Maybe there could be a little bit of peer pressure here, Aries, or wanting to go and change yourself or change presentations, perhaps maybe even to adapt or adopt other people's values or goals as important as your own. But I kind of get the energy here that it's important for you to remain firm in your sense of self. No matter how appealing it may be, Aries, to go and modify certain changes or certain plans or certain values that you have. I don't think now is the time for reinvention or modification, but it's a time to go and see who will support that which you've already have started to build out, because it's good, Aries. You know, the insights that you've gained up to this point, they're valuable ones that you were blessed with getting. Blessed to have those insights in order to pivot yourself to build what you have right now, even if it's just the ideas and the overall vision that you're working towards having. Don't allow that to be changed. Energies that are coming up here, Aries. Well, we have some Scorpio, we have some Pisces, Cancer, Gemini, as Aries said, Capricorn, There is definitely in here, Aries, with all the water signs coming up, a slight tendency to be influenced by other people's happiness, or Aries, as you extend yourself towards others, for others. You know, you feel happy in the difference that you can make for others, towards others, you know, over almost, I don't want to say overextending yourself, but extending yourself towards others and what's important to them and their causes. But I still get in this energy, it's important to keep track of your core, your foundation, your plans, your goals. So don't lose that. Let's see what else we have here. Please, partner and fresh. Careful, Aries, definitely. Don't overextend yourself, because you can help other people's goals, or see the validity or the beauty or the joy in other people's goals. Have people, Aries, who see the beauty, validity, and possibility in your vision. Let them help build out your vision. Not even quite a shared vision. I'm going to say your vision, because I feel like you can get swallowed up in someone else's vision quite easily. Okay, that's something else that I have here. All right, that's Valentine's Day message for Aries, a Valentine's Day sneak peek. Let's go and see Sagittarius. Sagittarius. That would be a Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Venus, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Rising. I think I'm having a kitty who's going to go and cough up a hairball. Sagittarius, that could be a sign. Everyone is shedding. Anyway, a Sagittarius, let's go and see. Valentine's Day sneak peek for Sagittarius. Prince of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. Acquisition coming your way. What's deserved coming your way. Good energy you have been putting out there, Sagittarius. You've been building yourself up, Sagittarius. You have impressiveness in some way, Sagittarius. You set yourself apart, Sagittarius, and it is noticed. Also, one could say in this energy, Sagittarius, what is presented for you, what comes towards you, can't necessarily be something frivolous. Is that the right word? Can't necessarily be transitory. Can't be something flimsy. Think about it, but that's the sort of energy that we have here. So we'll find out more, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I have death. Interesting. I have 3 of Swords. Hierophant wants to come out. I guess we're taking Hierophant. And the 5 of Cups. 4 of Cups. Sagittarius, have you been keeping yourself at a distance from any meaningful or real connections, real contact? Sagittarius, have you been involving yourself with certain connections, but either on a surface level or on a friendly level? Because what I have here in your Valentine's Day sneak peek, Sagittarius, I always want to say of intimacy, but not quite in the, well, although we have some physical cards, but not in the way we typically use the word. I just mean a closeness, Sagittarius. I feel like now your boundaries, your borders, Sagittarius, that you have put between yourself or your public self, your inner self, your vulnerable self, your confident self, those types of barriers, Sagittarius, those are the ones that just sort of will join into one self, your whole self, and your whole self accessible, Sagittarius, to others. Sagittarius, your Valentine's Day peak of energy. I have someone coming closer to you, Sagittarius, past your public face, past your public persona, and seeing the vulnerable you. Interacting, Sagittarius, with the vulnerable you. Someone's getting under your skin, Sagittarius. Right to where the core of you resides. And what's important to you, Sagittarius, to protect. That kind of vulnerability is in your energy, Sagittarius. And I don't want to say someone's going to strike your chords in those sensitive areas to self, Sagittarius. I feel like someone's going to, again, make it safe or acceptable, give you confidence, Sagittarius, to really stop compartmentalizing yourself between what is strong and what is weak, into what is just you. The beauty, Sagittarius, of you. I have divorce, I have mistrust, and I have options. Sagittarius, opportunities for healing is coming your way. And Sagittarius, precisely because of the pain that we have all gone through in some way by overextending ourselves just to other people in general, seeking approval and acceptance from other people in general, regardless if they had the emotional capacity, the sensitivity, the understanding, Sagittarius, respect the vulnerability that we extend to another or not. The fact is that as we do so, that in itself is a beautiful thing. And even the hard lessons learned makes us glitter all the more brilliantly, Sagittarius, with new facets that light can hit that we weren't aware of, but definitely increases the brilliance of experience that's earned, that's held. Anyway, Sagittarius, that's your Valentine's Day message so far that I have for you. Definitely digging into the vulnerable and letting the vulnerable be expressed to the world. Hello. We'll go on to the final sign. I think so. We did Aries, we did Sagittarius, now we have Leo. Let's see. A Valentine's Day peak for Leo. I have Eight of Swords, Leo, with King of Cups. Strength, of course, is Leo energy. Someone's all up in their heads, Leo. Somebody can't necessarily go and take steps spontaneously, Leo, without really considering all the possible ramifications of that. Here's someone, Leo, that when they do go forward, they go forward confidently. And when it doesn't work out or end up as they expected it would, Leo, their confidence takes a big hit. And they question themselves. They've already questioned themselves quite a lot in their regular cadence, regular repertoire, Leo. But each time something doesn't quite turn out as they'd like, or they reach a point, Leo, where they have to innovate, there's a pause. Leo, I have someone here in this energy. The reality they want and the reality they're dealing with, they're trying to make it all work, Leo, much as all of us. But when they want to make things work, Leo, do they retreat? Do they stop? Something about this, Leo, calls for a withdrawal. They have to examine things perhaps a little too hard, perhaps a little too much. Definitely, too, Leo, what I have here in this energy is somebody who definitely, well, their outside is very different from their inside. They project themselves to be a lot more bolder and spontaneous, confident than they are internally, Leo. Here is definitely someone who, well, is sensitive. To say sensitive is almost an understatement. Someone who's definitely sensitive, and they hang on to things a lot. Energies, Leo. Well, I have some Pisces, some Gemini, some Leo, some Taurus. I do have some Taurus and some maybe Aquarius, maybe some Capricorn. Well, we can keep pulling, right? But Leo, I think we'll just start with that. I have somebody here, Leo, who they're a lot more sensitive than they appear to be, or a lot more sensitive than you'd imagine them to be. They're a lot more sensitive than they would have other people believe they are. Words, too, Leo, leave a big impact on this person. Maybe you'd think it wouldn't. Maybe they'd brush it off themselves and go, whatever. But no, words haunt them. Possibly words hurt them. I don't know. But that's the energy, some of the energy that's here. Seven of Cups. Did I already have a Seven of Cups back here? I had a Seven of Pentacles. So Seven of Cups. Leo, I have somebody here who is unsure of the next stages to take. Definitely they overthink things, Leo. Definitely they overfeel things. Well, could you overfeel? I think you could. If you could overthink things, why can't you overfeel things? They're stuck. Stuck, Leo. I have somebody in your energy, Valentine's Day energy. Oh my God, are they stuck? Gee. Throw them a lifeline. I don't know, Leo. Should you throw them a lifeline? You could throw them a lifeline. They would appreciate it. Excuse me, blah. They would appreciate it, but should you? Leo, probably this person's main issue is the fact that since they are so sensitive and they don't express it, maybe they should go around with such a blustering attitude, but such a confident attitude, such a swag, but isn't quite true. Not quite sure what to do. The type of love, Leo, they'd like to have with you, not sure how to touch it, not quite sure how to approach it, can only admire at this point, Leo, from afar, afraid to even touch you, even approach. Words, definitely, even teasingly, Leo, leave an impact. Maybe they themselves, Leo, could say things in a far more casual or nonchalant manner than they'd like to. I don't really see much happening here, Leo, if you leave it up to this person, because they don't know what to do. Signs coming up here, Leo. I have Pisces, strong Gemini, strong Aries, some Scorpio, Libra, and Capricorn. But definitely I have here unknowing how to go and act on what they feel, how to express themselves. They don't know how. They've gone as far as they could. They have an inability to progress things with their own knowledge, with their own intuition, their own ability. They need help. Oh, that's what I have here, Leo. Somebody is a little inept with expressing themselves and getting things moving. Leo, this could be someone who you're dealing with. This could also be someone who appears to you. And Leo, you could be thinking, oh, this person and I, or, this person I really like. And I think this person really likes me because, we have that really strong energy up there. And then after a while or to a point, Leo, they could just sort of, do I say, well, that's kind of drop off right now. Not sure of how to take it further or take it further in any constructive type of way. Maybe even a juvenile type of way. Because, they lack the appropriate movements. They lack the ability to make the appropriate movements. And here's someone, Leo, I have for your message. Know someone really, really could be that person to you. But right now they are green. They're still in their egg, Leo. They don't know how to come out of their egg. They're praying for a way to do so. Will you help them out, Leo? You could. This energy is not bad. It's just a little inept. But they are praying for an avenue to open up. And they don't know how to create that avenue themselves. You have an admirer. You have admirers coming up. But they're not sure on how to bloom the gift of your connection into what they'd like it to be. Frustrating energy there, Leo. That's what I have for Leo. Anyway, so that concludes our readings. We did water, earth, air, and fire. If you appreciate my time and energy, do let me know by giving me a like. You can also send a tip, a little bit of love my way, either through YouTube or Cash App. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit of time. Oh, thank you so much for the likes so far and for the time, everyone. I do definitely invite you to think about in your chart. Think about the places of love in there. Also think about how love is expressed in your chart. And consider the messages as you feel fit or feel it's appropriate to do so. I will probably also take another peek at love energies. After all, we're just seeing what is going on. What's in the energy? And no better time to do that, right, than Valentine's Day coming up in 2 weeks. What is the energy around love? Anyway, hello everyone, and thank you. I'm going to go off and get some kind of black tea. Something with a little bit of caffeine, coconut sugar, and soy milk, and reclaim my voice.